You're on the record. It's not on YouTube Live, though. Chair Feakin? Here. Vice Chairman Elga?
Here.
Zerl? Bielfeld?
Here.
Caldwell?
Here.
Kniezek?
Here.
Wicker?
Here.
Student Representative Bowling?
Here.
You have a quorum?
Thank you. Before we go to the agenda approval, I'd like to bring to your attention the laydown material. And we have scheduled comments on the master plan introduction and an update from the engineering firm. May I have a motion to approve the agenda with the laydown material?
Move to approve. Second.
Thank you. Are there any revisions to the agenda? If there's seeing no objection to the agenda revisions, hearing none, agenda is approved. Okay. We're going to have scheduled public comments. And we have Eric, and is that Eric in the back? Nope. Okay. Somebody please give me your last name so I don't mess it up. We said with HDL Engineering Master Plan Introduction.
Yes, hi, good evening. This is Eric Jort with HDL Engineering. I'm attending via the video conference. Hopefully you guys can all see and hear me okay.
We can, thank you.
Awesome, wonderful. Well, thank you very much to the commission for having me here and for the introduction. I know my time here is somewhat limited to the public speaking participation of this commission meeting today. So I first and foremost just want to thank you guys for having the opportunity to be here. We are here just to introduce the Kenai Airport Master Plan update, or the first phase of this project. My goal of this 10-minute presentation really is to, again, introduce HDL, this exciting project for the master plan, talk a little bit about what the master plan will entail, and if there's a couple minutes left at the end, I'd like to try to answer any immediate questions that you might have from the commission. And I'd also like to formally request a workshop with the commission in person at a time that works for you, to where HDL and our planning team can come down to the airport or to the city actually, and talk with you in more detail about this master plan, go over your questions and seek your input. With that, I also believe that we were able to provide a fact sheet, and I don't know if they were able to share that on the screen or provide hard copies to you there in person, but we were able to put together a little flyer or a fact sheet that kind of just provided some highlights of what the master plan does. It provided some links to the existing master plan from 2017, and it also includes a link to a project website that HDL is actually maintaining over the process of the master plan update. It will be a public involvement website that we'll use to provide updates, share information, and also provide an avenue for airport users, stakeholders, and the flying public to provide comment and input, and also sign up for the opportunity to take part in interviews and to, again, just provide general input on how they feel the airport currently is being run as far as facilities and stuff on the land side, and if they have any desires for what the future of the airport might look like. So again, very, very excited to get this project started. Very, very excited to engage with the community, as well as the commission and the rest of the airport users. And I think if I can dive into just a little bit about what this master plan will do. And I mentioned earlier that this is only the first phase. These master plans, depending on the airport and the condition of the last master plan can take a long time. There are a lot of work, but in my opinion, it's fun work. I think it's a different level of engineering that you get to engage with the public a lot more than you would on maybe a design project. And it's something I particularly enjoy, is just making sure that we truly get the input of the users, the flying community, and the overall public to make sure that we are hearing what the airport needs and what we think the city thinks the airport could benefit from. The first phase dives into a lot of different tasks and facets, but ultimately at the end of the first phase, what we get is a conditions and needs assessment report. And really what that entails is a lot of different things. We look at anything from the socioeconomics of the airport. We look at forecast trends of aviation activity. We talk to fixed base operators. We'll talk to hangar owners, businesses, leaseholders. We'll basically be doing as much information gathering as we possibly can to really iron out how the airport works right now, what we think the airport needs to do in order to change to serve the community, and then look at the future and figure out what might need to be included or modified in a 20-year horizon. So again, I know there's a lot to cover in these master plans, and I know my time here is somewhat short, so I would certainly like to point out that you guys have the ability to go to this website and include your contact information. You can also submit questions if you guys would like to provide your input at any time. The website will be there for us to do that. But most importantly, what I'd like to note is that we'll be conducting over 160 hours or more of interviews with as many people as we possibly can. So again, I think the commission's input will be huge. I know that I've heard from Derek and other members of the airport that the commission's been excited about this master plan. There's been a lot of ideas on what we can do at the airport. And again, I'm just excited to start engaging with every one of you. I can maybe talk a little bit about the schedule. Like I said, we were able to just get started. The FAA awarded the city of Kenai a grant no later than I think maybe last September. So we haven't had a chance to get too much completed yet underway. We were able to start the airport inspection work back in October, which really just evaluated the existing facilities at the airport. We looked at some of the building conditions for the city-owned buildings on airport property. And we're just about ready to start working through stakeholder lists and to start conducting these interviews, as well as commission meetings, public updates, and public meetings with the city. But again, a lot of this work will take place over the next 12 months. Right now, we're still kind of getting our feet underneath us, but we're hopeful that next month in December, if it works with the commission, we could sit down and have a meeting and talk more in detail about schedule and some of the different tasks that will be part of the master plan. But with that, I think kind of keeping an eye on time, it looks like I might just have a couple more minutes. Maybe I could open up the floor to some questions or some general comments about the project.
Is there any questions for him?
Yeah, thanks for the presentation. Just a question. Are you on the peninsula? Are you up in Los Anchorage, or where are you located?
Yeah, so currently I'm in Anchorage. Our company has offices in Kenai, Palmer, and Anchorage. I'm based out of here, but I frequently make my way down to the peninsula.
Okay, and what's the size of the team that's going to be working on this? I mean,
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a great question. It's a pretty big team because depending on the different tasks, we have anywhere from structural, electrical, mechanical, civil, aviation, and planning engineers. Directly related with HDL, there's a group of about 5 of us. You might have heard of Mark Swenson. He's our general manager and has worked with the aviation department at HDL for over 20 years now. He's a part of our master plan team. We have a environmental services manager and an airport planning manager. And then we also have a couple of engineers in training and some tech writers. So immediately through HDL, there's a team of about 5 to 8 people.
No, thank you for that. Appreciate that. And also, is there a timeline for completion? I know you talked just briefly about it earlier, about getting the timeline set. Is there just a preliminary type? Because I remember going through the previous one, it went on for quite a while.
Yeah, we have a couple of master plans under our belt, and typically what we said is it takes about a year to get through that first phase. We have put a preliminary schedule together, and what we're hoping to do is get through the entire first phase by around October of next year. What we hope to do over the next couple of months, again, is to really just get some of these tasks underway and start with the public engagement process. And then from there, we'll be ready to start in January to really set things off.
And Eric, I think one of the things we were looking for too was we're suggesting December work session, possibly if it works for commission at 5 p.m. But you guys let us know.
What date was that?
On commission night, December 12th.
Oh, the meeting, okay.
So do a work session at 5 p.m. so that you guys get a whole hour to just talk about this and pitch ideas. So, and then there'll be another one, probably looking at June, but this is the initial one where they're starting the interviews and they want to get with you guys. So
Does that work for everybody? Okay, looks like that would be fine.
Wonderful. Yeah, Derek, thank you for making that point there. And I think that sounds great. What I'd like to do is I'll work through Derek, but coordinate that time for 5 o'clock on the 12th of December. We'll make sure we know the right location, but we'll plan on coming down in person, and we'll be looking forward to it.
Thank you, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much for everyone's time, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your commission meeting.
Okay, moving on. Unscheduled comment. I don't see any members of the public wishing to speak. Is there anybody on the remote? Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to approve the September 12th minutes?
Move. Second.
Thank you. Are there any revisions to the minutes? Seeing no revisions, with no objection approving, we have the minutes approved. Unfinished business, we have none. Okay, may I have a motion to recommend the council approval of the special use permit for the American Red Cross for the use of room 228 at the Alaska Regional Fire Training Center?
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, do we have a staff report?
yes, we do. So the American Red Cross is requesting just to renew their special use permit, the same that they had last year. It's going to expire on November 30th. So same terms, same conditions. The Red Cross, they're a nonprofit, provides services to the Kenai Peninsula, including house and forest fire response, smoke alarm installation, preparedness training, and a lot more. The space is for 475 square feet. And it's on the second floor of the Alaska Regional Fire Training Center. The permit fee is $1 per month, plus they cover the utility costs of $211.44. They've paid the application fee. They have a current certificate of insurance on file. So does commission recommend council approve the special use permit for the American Red Cross?
Any commissioner discussion?
No, I remember the tour that we went up there last year. It was really good. And looks like the Red Cross was really taking care of the facility really well. It's a nice place, it really is. So I'm happy for that. It's being utilized.
Okay, any further discussion?
I just have a question. Reference to utilities, is that something that's been, because I don't know, looked at? Is it the same as what it was the previous years or adjusted at all?
Yeah, it's the same as it was last year, and it was calculated before that.
Okay, any other questions or discussion? Okay, if I don't see any objection, I am looking for unanimous consent. Okay, thank you. Okay, looking for our airport manager's report, please.
Yeah, so this month we had a lot of meetings. We did our annual airport emergency tabletop. This is something we have to do every year to comply with our Part 139 standards, and it brought the different emergency responders, the fire department, the police department there, so that we could talk and discuss areas to work on and whatnot. And we played out a scenario of an aircraft emergency, and this allowed us to identify some strengths, weaknesses, and one of the things we focused on was better interagency communication. We also had our snow and ice control committee meeting. That was on October 15th, and that kicked off the preparations for the winter season. And it's a good thing we got that in because the snow was here in October. So I got that in a couple weeks before that, so that was good. You heard about the airport master plan, but HDL came down for a couple days to do an inspection of the airfield, and that's just getting the lay of the land, finding out what we have going through the buildings and all of the equipment. So that was the initial step. The airport also assisted with the annual pumpkin drop. Kenai Aviation put it on. They did nice work, but we opened up the operations building with them, so appreciate them putting that on. The airport, so we didn't receive the Small Community Air Service Development Grant, as I'm sure you've heard. There was a lot of work that went into this, and I'm just thankful for all the support of not only the Kenai community members, but the surrounding communities as well. The airport restaurant RFP is out, and that will close December 5th. Looking forward to see who throws out a bid for that. And we've also been busy hiring. We hired 8 new temporary snowplow operators or equipment operators and 2 seasonal. So those guys are doing really well and getting geared up. So we'll have a full crew and take a few hours off the 3 full-time guys. So glad to get that in. And that's my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, or the chair's report, I don't really have any, but I would like to welcome everybody that's new on our commission and our new council person. Thank you for being here. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I have a question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
So with the grant for the airline and the carrier, what on world the world went down? Where are we? What happened? What's happening?
With the SCASD grant, that's what you're asking? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we applied, there were 40 applicants and we weren't one of the ones chosen.
So why were we not better prepared? I mean, if the paper made it sound like we were not prepared and ready for it.
I think we were pretty prepared and put in an application. One of the things that we didn't get was an airline letter of support. We did reach out, and that's something that we'll try to set up more meetings for in the near future.
So can we go back and apply for this grant again?
Yes, we will plan to apply next year, and there's some airports that applied 9 times and haven't gotten it yet. So airports are putting these applications in every year. So it's not uncommon that this was our first time in here and we didn't get it. So
Okay. So how do we reach out to the carriers, or what do we do? Or
we've already sent out an email to their planning team and we'll be waiting on their response.
okay, didn't mean to put you on the, I just was curious.
No,
Okay.
appreciate that.
Thank you so much. So Councilman Daniels, may we have your report?
All right, let's see if I can do a report that Henry would be proud of, or Vice Mayor Naxid would be proud of. So, a couple things. The big ones here, the election was certified and we picked up a new councilmember, Councilmember Zavala Casina. So we're very excited for him to be on council. The other couple other big things here is Vice Mayor Naxid was reelected again for another year as Vice Mayor. And we also went through and Mayor Gabriel selected the commission liaisons. That's why you're all stuck with me now. Lucky you for the next year. So it'll be fun to get to know you all. And the other couple things of note from the last few meetings are, let's see here. Oh yes, the big one was the employee health care plan that got approved for the upcoming year. And that comes with quite a price tag, but they were able to negotiate down on the contract, which was good, and able to have 2 separate tiers of the plan this time, hopefully to help attract and retain employees. So that'll be good. Other than that, got any questions? Let me know.
Any questions? Okay, seeing none, thank you for being with us. We look forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well.
Okay, our next meeting is December 12th. Will everybody be here? Okay, perfect. And I think I skipped one. We'd better ask if there's any members of the public that would like to address the commission. Seeing none, we'll move on. So, commissioners' questions, comments? We can start at the far end. So our student, tell us about yourself a little bit.
My name is Josh Bowling. I'm a sophomore at Kenai Central High School. I'm 16 and I played baseball.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm Cody Wicker. I work for the FAA at the Flight Service Station. This guy down here was my mentor and teacher, instructor once upon a time.
Many moons.
Many moons, about 13, 12, 13.
Well, welcome to the council, and we're glad you're here.
Thanks.
Dan Kniezek with Grant Aviation, Vice President of Commercial Operations. Been doing, how many months?
You've been here a while.
Yeah, I can't remember how many months now. Maybe 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 6 months, and hope to continue, and especially through the master plan. I'm very interested in working through that one. Done a few of them from the stakeholder side, some of the big ones through in the state and stuff, and so learned a lot in those processes.
Well, we're looking forward to your input. Welcome back, Jacob. Haven't seen you for a while.
Thank you. Yeah, no, good to be back. Fun to see things moving forward with the master plan. Obviously, we've been looking at that for a couple of years, so very excited on that. Like Derek said, we had the pumpkin drop this last month. Probably our biggest one again yet, as it seems to happen every year. This year's a little different. We did most of the activity actually out at the California Ski Meadows Air Park, and so the only activity at the Kenai Airport was just the launching of the airplanes, but that actually made it a lot easier on the airport because we didn't have quite so much traffic over by the operations facility that we have the last few years. But yeah, great time with that. And yeah, just like I said, excited for the master plan expansion and finally, hopefully seeing some things move forward there.
Thank you. Jim, what do you got? Nothing? I know you have something.
I always do. Just an FYI for everybody, Timothy Cole, he is the new CAP squadron commander for the Kenai Squadron. He might stop by the airport office if he hasn't already to say hi. He's an ER nurse here at CPH. He's a good addition for the squadron, taking over the entire squadron. He was the deputy commander for the cadet program for a few years and did a wonderful job. Our cadets we have like 30 or 35 cadets now in the program, and it's really growing, it's real strong. So it's due to because of his leadership. So a couple questions for Derek. Just the RFP for the restaurant. I was in the terminal here last Monday, and there are signs everywhere for the RFP. Is that is Brothers Cafe okay with that? I mean, it's like, it's kind of like, is like booting out the cafe or what?
Absolutely not. They were able to put in a bid if they wanted to
Okay.
last time and this time, and they actually gave notice that they're leaving on December 23rd. So I don't necessarily know that we advertised it greatly last time because we kind of expected Brothers to be there. So this time we're going all out with advertising and hopefully get somebody in there.
That sounds good. And also, in the grant application process, in the big pool of things, how many applicants apply for that particular grant, the small airport grant, every year? Do you know?
About 40,
About 40.
and they give around 12 or 14 out. So
Okay. Yeah. And do you know what the average award is for the grants?
it's different every year. In the past, there's been a lot of lower ones, but this year was probably around 900,000, $1 million, and that's where we were at. So
Okay.
the awards overall were a little bit bigger though. So a couple less grants given out.
Okay, thanks. I was gonna maybe participate with the pumpkin drop with my airplane, but I've got gullwing doors and they don't work very well when you're flying. At least closed they do, but not opening. But my son's a senior project manager at Boeing, an engineer, and we're already looking for a bomb drop mechanism to put on the belly. And the thing is, I'm gonna have some type of an aiming device. I'm gonna have like a Norden bomb sight for my experiment. It's gonna be cool. Just wait.
That sounds pretty competitive to me.
I'm telling you. He's got one heck of a access to a 3D printer there, Boeing. They
So-
can make anything.
Any more comments? If not, seeing no further business, this body is adjourned.